So these are the answers for solving quadratics using a square root. For the formative assessment, number one mistake is you forgot both the positive and the negative answer. So remember, you were taking the square root on both sides. Many of you had 2, but you've been able to do that for a long time. This is showing that you understand that there is a positive and a negative square root when you're solving a quadratic equation. Here, many of you had this. Rounding was an issue, but many of you didn't have this. It's minus 11, so you had to add 11. There was a coefficient of 1/5, so you had to multiply by 5 to have x squared equals 120, and then you needed to take the square root of that. And again, the answer, both the positive and the negative, 10.95 if you're rounding to 2 decimal places. So biggest mistakes, not multiplying by the reciprocal and forgetting both the positive and the negative answer. Most of you got question 3 right. All you needed to do was take this formula and plug in the values. But again, some of you did not remember, if you have a fraction as a coefficient, to multiply by the reciprocal to get rid of it and then take the square root. Some of you forgot labels as well. It's 36 miles per hour. And the level 4 question I thought was pretty easy because you did these on your assignment. You have to isolate that quadratic part before taking the square root. So it was plus 5, so we had to subtract 5. It was multiplied by 4, so you had to divide by 4. But right here, remember, there are 2 answers. Once you take the square root, there's the positive 5 and the negative 5. So you should have had 2 separate equations and solve for x on both. So again, practice finding all square roots. Positive numbers have 2 square roots. Negative, none, 0, 1.